Good afternoon, boys and ghouls. My name is Siobhan Beckett, and I am an actor, singer, special effects makeup artist, and professional zombie. I'm from the Baltimore, Maryland area. I currently work at the DC location of Trapped in a Room with a Zombie. I've been there for about 1 year, but I've actually been a scare actor and a hauntertainer for the last 8 years. Now, I've worked in a lot of different haunted house type environments, special events, things like that. And even though Trapped in a Room with a Zombie is not a haunted house, we do employ a lot of the same tactics and elements as a haunted house. So today I'm going to share some of my training with you. I'm going to talk to you about theatrical makeup and how we can better zombify ourselves. And then in my next video, I'm going to talk to you about blood, which is one of my favorites, and also latex effects that we can use. So, let's begin. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is theatrical makeup. Now, we're all actors here at Trapped in a Room with a Zombie, and it's just a good investment to get yourself some good quality theatrical makeup. Now, think of it the same way that you would think of an investment in your headshots or a website or business cards, anything that's necessary to be an actor. Now, makeup is also going to be one of those things that you want in your toolkit when you go out into the world as an actor in whatever city you choose to work in. Now, I'm going to talk about some brands today, and I'm also going to talk about ways that we can use that makeup to look a little scarier. So first, let's talk about brands. My favorite brand of theatrical makeup is Ben Nye. Ben Nye is great. It's high quality for stage, also for film acting. Now, you can get cream-based makeups of Ben Nye, like this one right here. I prefer to work with cream-based makeups. They also have powder cakes. They also make a lot of the different kinds of blood that we're going to be talking about later. So, invest in some Ben Nye. That is my personal recommendation. Now, there are other brands of theatrical makeup that I also use. We've got Miron. Sorry, my label's kind of worn off there. Miron has cream bases like you saw me hold before. This is a cream-based stick. It's just in a different form. Miron is a really good, really reliable theatrical makeup brand. Now, another brand that we have is Krylon. Krylon is also a very good theatrical brand. You may or may not have heard of these brands on shows like Face Off on Sci-Fi, where they feature special effects makeup artists. Now let's see. You can get these in a number of different places. Depending on your city, you may or may not have a makeup supply store by you. Now, here in my area in Baltimore, we have a number of makeup supply stores, also performance stores, dance supply and attire stores, costume shops that do rentals and things of that sort. They are all likely to carry these brands. Now, if you don't have a store like that in your area, you can find them on the internet, which is wonderful. There's plenty of good websites. You can find a lot of this makeup on Amazon. There's also plenty of makeup distributors that will give you a great discount on some of these things. So do some research, look on the internet, see if there's a place in your area that may or may not carry theatrical makeup brands. And if there isn't, you can definitely find it online. I get a lot of my stuff online. Now, that being said, something that a lot of people don't think about is Halloween stores. We're coming up around Halloween time. There's going to be a lot of costume stores and prop stores popping up in the area, so consider those a good resource. You want to stay away from the cheaper grease paints, but there are some very good pre-made latex wounds, some bloods that they carry there. They're very good, fangs and teeth and those sort of things. So check your local Halloween stores. Now, those aren't open year-round, so what are we going to do when it's not Halloween? Party City. Party City, if it's in your area, or a sort of party planning store like that, that has saved my life on several occasions. They have a really good selection of things as soon as you know what to look for. So I'm going to teach you guys what to look for. Now, like I said, you should really invest in the quality makeup as an actor. But also, once you have the right tools, you're going to save yourself so much time and so much effort just once you have those right tools. I guarantee that all of the zombie tips that I'm going to show you today, you can apply this in 10 minutes or less. I promise. I'm not going to show you anything that's going to take upwards of an hour or anything like that to apply. These are all very simple tricks that we can do. So just keep that in mind. Now, let's start. First thing I'm going to do is tie my hair back. As you can see, I have a lot of hair to work with. All right. So I'm going to show you a few things that I've found that are really easy ways to turn yourself into a zombie. Now, the key areas that you want to consider on your face are your eyes and your mouth. Those are two very important areas, and you can freak people out very easily with a couple very simple things. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to use a base that's a little bit lighter than my natural skin tone. Now, you can be a paled out zombie, you can be a green zombie. This is where you get to be creative. But one thing I like to do, because I have a very light complexion, is cover my lips and as you can see, this already makes your face look really pale. It's already draining the blood from your face and starting to make you look a little bit less human. Now, one of the other jobs that I have as a makeup artist is I do shock trauma simulation makeup at hospitals for training purposes. And this is something that does happen to actual bodies in a medical way. So, paling out the lips and making it match the base that you want to use on your face, automatically it's transforming my look. You can see that. Alright, so now that we've got the lips done, I want to cover the rest of my face with this same color of matching foundation. So what I've got here are just some basic sponges, little triangle sponges. If it's your own makeup, feel free to use your hands. I use my hands a lot for blending and things like that. Now I'm just going to cover my face really quickly. Now, depending on how much of your face you're going to be showing with your Dr. Oxy costume, you might want to do parts of your neck. If you have short hair or you're tying your hair up, you might want to do your ears. Because we don't want to look like a mask. If you just do just your face and nothing else and you have all this skin exposed, then it's going to start to look a little like a mask. All right. There we go. So like I said, this is where you can start to get creative. If you have a darker skin tone, maybe you just want to blot out your lips, or maybe you want to go with something that's a greenish kind of a color or something like that. You get to play with things that look the best on you. And I really think that this paled out look is good for my very light colored eyes and my very bright colored hair. There we go. All right, so we've got a base. You see how quick that was? Really, really fast. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is color and contouring with your theatrical makeup. There's a couple of different things that we can do. This is a Ben Nye bruise wheel. I really love these bruise wheels. can see we've got 4 different colors in there. We've got a dark red, a dark blue, a purple, and a green. We've got a couple different of these lying around. Now, like I said, your key points on your face when you're a zombie are your eyes and your mouth. So now, we're going to put a little bit of color in our eyes. One thing I like to do, because I really like the color red, as you can see, it's one of my favorites. I like to use a lot of red in my zombie. It looks tired, it looks diseased. I like to put, and get my mirror, because doing it in a webcam is very strange. I like to put it underneath of my eyes and then blend it out so it's nice and smooth. You can see it's starting to look tired and sunken in. You can do this with a lot of different colors. You can use a really dark blue or a really dark purple. All of those colors are in the Bend Knife Bruise wheel. There we go. Now we've got sort of a Sweeney Todd red under eye look going on. Now, I really do recommend theatrical grade makeup because I don't recommend putting lipstick anywhere near your eyes. It's not going to set the same way as theatrical makeup. It could smudge, it could get in your eye and irritate it, or God forbid, infect it in some way. I really don't recommend doing tricks like that. Now, of course, if you're in a bind, if you accidentally forgot your makeup and the show must go on, then you can use tricks like that, but this is really going to benefit you in the long run. Now, I'm also going to show you later how to seal your makeup so we won't worry about sweating it off or smudging it off on anything, so don't worry about that. We'll get to that in a second. Now, while I'm on the bruise wheel, I'm going to take this dark blue, this one right here, and I'm going to put it on the top of my lids. And again, this is just my method. These are the colors that I prefer on my skin tone with my hair and my Oxy uniform. There we go. All right. Now we're starting to get a really sunken in sort of a look. Now, something else that you can do with bruise wheels is we can add some detail to ourselves. If you're showing skin on your hands or your feet as Oxy, then you might want to put some bruises or decaying marks on your extremities. You can also put bruises on your face, on your neck, on your chest area, anything that might be exposed. Now, bruises are great because they're super easy. There's really no way to mess these up. When you have a bruise wheel like this, they also have a burn and blister wheel that has a lot of pinks, blacks, dark reds, things like that. You can make any sort of color combination of bruises. Now, I'm very Irish, and I have a very pink skin tone, so I bruise very easily. And this is just one of the nice little details that I like to put in when I'm Oxy. They're really fast. And see, right now I'm using the red and the purple. If you're like me, when your bruises are around for a couple days, maybe they start to turn a little green. So let's use some of that green. Now also, if you're clumsy like me, you may or may not have real bruises already on your body. You can use those to study, try and get some ideas from that. That is one of the benefits of being a clumsy person. There's some more green and purple, and you see how easy that is. Now, they don't have to be in blotchy shapes like this. You can make them whatever shape you want, whatever colors you want. Let's do a big old indent on the throat there. There we go. And you see, this takes a matter of seconds. You're already starting to get a beaten up and dirty kind of a look to you, as zombies often do. There we go. It's looking pretty good so far. Now, something else that you might want to do is I like to do veins sometimes. Now, veins can also be any color. You can make them a pink, you can make them, I like to go with a green for zombies because it looks really infected and gross. I'm going to get out one of my smaller brushes. Got more of a point for detailing. Ben Nye sells these brushes. This is one that I got off of Amazon. It's got a nice rolling kit to it, so you can keep them all nice and clean. Now, going back to your key points, your eyes and your mouth. Those are some of the creepiest, most unsettling places to see veins and weird stuff coming out of. So, one thing we can do is use the corner of the mouth to look infected. Now I'm just going to take a little tiny bit from my bruise wheel. And drag it up the mouth. And one thing that I do as a makeup artist is I look at medical research photos. I probably have a very questionable Google search history, but that's part of it. Look at things that interest you. If you're interested in veins, then research some distended veins. If you really like making bruises, you can make those bruises. If you really like blood and latex, then don't worry, we're going to focus on those too. Here we go. I've got a little bit of red and a little bit of green in there. And I'm just kind of going out in like a spider web kind of a pattern. Now, one of the tricks to zombie makeup is that it doesn't have to be perfect. Because you are a decaying piece of flesh, the bruises can be messy, the veins can be messy, your eyes can be a little bit messy. Don't worry about spending a lot of time on perfection. I'm a perfectionist. I'm probably even taking a little more time than I should right now with these things. But don't worry. And it's also, as in anything with theater, it's all about trial and error. So don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid if it doesn't look perfect the first time. Just keep practicing and keep trying. Now, while I try and get my songs to come back on, bear with me for just one moment. All right, let's finish these. And let's do some veins coming out of the eyes. There it goes. Thank you, mobile data. All right, let's go to the corner of the eye right here. So don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid if it doesn't look perfect at first. Find the tips and tricks that interest you the most. And really, just have fun with it. This is a fun job to have, and the makeup can be just as fun. And just for funsies, I'm going to do some on the top of the head for you. Again, I'm still just using the same dark red and dark green. But be individual with your Dr. Oxy. All zombies are different. Think about your wounds, where they came from, how you got them, how the infection has affected you. Now, I don't know about all of you zombies out there. I'm a big zombie nerd. I'm a huge Romero fan. And this is just such a fun job as an actor. So why not even get a little bit more creative with it? All right. So there we've covered some veins, we've covered eyes, covered blotting out the mouth, paling out your skin tone, bruises, those sort of things. Now, I'm going to show you really quickly how to seal this. And then, next video, blood. So sealing your makeup, there's a tip that I like to give, and it's called the powder sock method. Now, I went to Towson University, which is in the Baltimore, Maryland area, and I had some great makeup teachers. They are haunters, they are clowns, literal clowns, and they are called the jokesters. The jokesters are very, very helpful. I owe them a lot of my training, and they taught me this very, very easy method. Now, you're going to want to get yourself a plain, long, kind of a thin fabric sock. You can see that that's a very skinny kind of fabric. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill this sock with baby powder. Got it for $1 at Rite Aid. This probably also costs 50 cents in a pack of like 12. Just slip it right over the top of the baby powder and fill your sock up. Now what this does is it absorbs the moisture in the cream-based makeups. You don't really need to do this with powder. Powder is going to set in place by itself, but when you have oily, cream-based makeups like what I've been using for this, this is a foolproof method. If you powder enough and correctly, you can go swimming with your zombie makeup on in a pool, and it will not come off. I promise you, because I've actually done that. Now, what we want to do, if you want to fill this up a substantial amount, if you're going to keep it for the next couple of shows, I'm just showing you guys this for video purposes, so I'm not filling it the whole way. But what we want to do is tie the top, and you're going to siphon it over any areas that you've covered. Arms, neck, face especially. When you think you've put too much baby powder on your face, it's still not enough. Then what we're going to do is we're going to brush it off with a thick, fluffy brush and get the excess off. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. You want to siphon it like an accordion, kind of like confectioner sugar, if any of you guys like baking. So, now baby powder on the floor gets slippery. You don't want to get it in your eyes. So close your eyes. You don't want to get it in your mouth either, so I'm going to stop talking. All right. So I'm going to take one of my fatter brushes and dust off the extra. Get it out of your eyes. Now, if there's still a lot of powder on you, you can dab it off. Just wet a towel and very gently dab your face. Now, once this is in place, it's not going to budge. It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay right in place. You won't be able to smudge it off. You won't be able to sweat it off. It's a really great, cheap, easy way to seal your makeup. Now, there are other methods that you can use. If anybody has ever used hairspray before, you can spray down your entire face and shellac it. Ben Nye has a wonderful product called Final Seal. It is minty fresh scented, which is a nice touch. And you spray it directly onto your skin. Now, like this. Close your eyes, definitely. Give it a little second to dry. It smells nice and minty. And that's also going to help reinforce the makeup. Now, if you're using the powder, you shouldn't have to use the final seal. It's all a matter of preference. Really, I prefer the powder. It's very, very cheap. It's very, very fast. And that's pretty much it for cream makeup and theatrical makeup. Again, remember your brand names: Ben Nye, Kryolan, and Miron. Check your local makeup stores, check your dance studios, dance supply stores, costume supply stores, and then check the internet. There are plenty of places where we can find these things. Now, next video is going to be my favorite. I'm going to show you guys blood. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for paying attention, and I'll see you soon.